Well, tonight in 7 News Flashback, the birth of the railway in Queensland. From a steam-driven start in 1865, it's undergone the diesel and electric revolution, changing the way we travel in southeast Queensland.
Roma Street Station in the 1940s, bustling with ports, porters and crowds. Before airports, railway stations were the gateway to romance and adventure, but Brisbane had to wait its turn. Farmers ensured Queensland's first line was to the west, from Ipswich to the Lockyer Valley in 1865. The first Brisbane line was to Oxley. North of the river, Indooroopilly to Roma Street opened. The two halves were eventually joined at Indooroopilly until the 1893 flood washed the bridge away. And in 1889, the Gold Coast track was built all the way to Southport. One of Queensland's dumbest decisions was ripping up the line in 1965, only to rebuild it 3 decades later. Ribbons of rail would eventually reach out from Brisbane to the north, south, east and west. Steam ruled until the arrival of the diesel in the 1950s. But their decades were numbered too. E-Day arrived in 1979, electrification of the Brisbane rail network. Darra to Ferny Grove was the first modern line.
People remember, of course, the old days of the red rattlers, as they called them, the dogs box carriages, and even the stainless steel cars. Well, the great enemy in Brisbane, as we know, is the heat, the humidity, and one of the big commitments was to actually have air-conditioned stock. It was revolutionary. Brisbane
had Australia's first air-conditioned electric trains. The money came from Canberra, but Queensland took the credit.
Peterson speaking. How did you get to and from work, to and from the shops, to and from school today? In Brisbane, you would have travelled either by train, by bus, or by car. You would be one of over 500,000 people on the move.
Since then, the population of Brisbane has almost doubled. To get more people on board, QR is upgrading tracks, facilities,
and the new high-speed train that will service Brisbane, the Gold and Sunshine Coasts.
The train is now being tested. The seats are larger and there were no interior doors separating carriages.
Queensland Rail hopes that new trains like this will alleviate a lot of the congestion on lines like the Gold Coast, where it gets so packed, people refer to it as the Bombay Express.
Well, this is about making sure that we have people sitting in seats rather than standing up for long-distance services such as the Gold Coast.
From steam to diesel and through to electric. Much has changed in 140 years.
Okay, you've seen quite a few of those changes.
Yeah, many of them, Jay.